All right, welcome to this month's episode of Train of Thought. I'm your host, your conductor, Alex Dumas, the Life Success Creator, and I'm joined with a very special guest today, my good friend Kitti Andrews. I'm going to tell you all about her in just a moment, but for those of you who are watching the show, I encourage you to subscribe, leave a rate and leave a review on the Wake Up with Giants TV network. Shout out to Nick Smith and Ryan Morris, my guys. Appreciate you. I'll give you guys acknowledgments every time, anytime. So yeah, this is the show. Once a month we come on. We have interesting guests. Maybe sometimes it's myself and share some insights, share some coaching ideas, share something that could hopefully transform your life and get you on a path to prosperity. So all that said and done, we get all aboard. Chugga chugga, love you, and we're gonna rock out. So, like I said, I'm here with Kitti Andrews, and she is the founder and the CEO of Declutter the Brain. She works with entrepreneurs to organize their space and streamline their thoughts so they can focus on attracting and serving premium clients. And she's also known as your thought organizer. And Kitti believes that physical clutter and lack of concentration are very closely related. Her 20 years of experience in helping people to get their surroundings under control have led have led her to create a step-by-step one system that has helped their clients to go from overwhelmed and struggling to organized and thriving. So Kitty is going to share with us some of her easy step-by-steps of her system and is going to help you organize your space and your brain, which is important, right? Space, brain, so you can maximize your mental energy for what really matters to you. So, Kitty, I want to thank you for joining me today. We've known each other for a few years, so I'm really excited for this conversation and what you're going to share with my folks today.
Well, Alex, thank you for having me. I actually am I always love doing interviews, but with you it's something special because we came from another world. We met in
Yeah,
another world, courtesy of another coach, and we've I want to acknowledge you here for keeping going, for not stopping, for just, even if the going gets tough, you just keep going and going and believing that we have a message that will help people. And God love you for doing that. I am so proud of you. All
thank
right.
you. I appreciate it.
Much, much.
I know, right? Like, get all the mushy stuff of the way. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's like heartfelt."
Yeah, right.
No, but
Okay.
yeah, it's part of my core
Enough.
message of people. Like, you keep going, you keep growing, right? And speaking of growing, this thought about space and our brains and maximizing our potential and our opportunities. And I'm just curious off the bat, tell me about this creation of yours as your thought organizer. Like, where did that come from? Like, yeah,
As a matter of fact, one client that I had, and actually you would know her from this tribe,
okay,
a relationship coach, and she came to me because she wasn't feeling it. She was just having a really hard time attracting clients, and and she didn't think that her office was a mess, but she just felt that something wasn't right. So we chatted, and her husband was on her about, you should tidy up. She was forgetting to pay bills. Just things weren't right. They weren't,
yeah.
as you say with your train of thought, going chugga chugga chugga.
Clunk, clunk.
Jackpot, exactly. So we worked together and toured and slowly got various areas of her life decluttered. And because I help you to declutter the 5 pillars, not only your home, but your health, your habits, your heart, and your head. Hence, declutter the brain. And towards the end of our sessions, she was doing really, really well. Like she worked hard at it,
Yeah,
and I knew in my heart that she'd be able to keep it up. And She said, well, I want to thank you for helping me to get organized. And I nearly jumped through the screen. I said at her because I just really I do not like the word organ or to be called an organizer, because that brings to my mind anyway a Martha Stewart with cute little plastic bins and all of that kind of stuff. $1 billion industry, but still.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe Martha had a good idea. I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll talk next year. Maybe I'll have plastic bin, but I digress. So I said, Janet, you know that I'm not. I'm not an organizer. I help people declutter so they can organize. She says, Kitti, calm down. Not the first time somebody said that. And she said, I mean that you help people to organize their thoughts so that when their space is clear, when they're not worried about other parts of their life, then they can focus and concentrate and get their thoughts organized as to what they have to do, for the day to make things successful. And I could go off on a tangent about that, but we'll hold that thought. So that's the story behind the thought organizer.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm curious, in your own life, like how has decluttering really helped you grow as an entrepreneur and business owner? Like how have you seen that show up in your life?
Oh, good heavens.
Where's the worms? Where's the can? We're gonna
You bet. Well, when we first, unbeknownst to you, since we met, I think we met when I was in a smaller apartment, and then I moved here, and I never really I didn't take to the place. Anyway, it was cluttered. And
Yeah.
once I started to look at myself in the last couple of years, and I helped my father move into my building that caused a whole lot of extra clutter. I realized that that I have a pattern that I will declutter. Say, for example, the kitchen
Yeah.
counter. Stuff gets thrown on there, the
Yeah.
nails, some batteries that you need to recharge, whatever it is, and so by Sunday everything is cleared. By Wednesday, things have started to creep up again a little bit.
Mm.
And I'm not thinking quite as clearly. And it sounds so woo-woo. Or somebody else may say, well, duh, yeah. But so I'll give it a quick tidy on Wednesday. Bam. Thursday, I am good to go. So I know for a fact that it works. And it works. It works for your head too. Would you like to hear why?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all ears.
I've learned this. I've taught myself this, much to my surprise. My one system, which we're going to talk about, has helped me this year. My father took ill and passed, and there was a lot going on in my head, trying to running the business, growing the business, and all the things that go along with that. So can you relate to, it's whatever time of day you're doing your toilette in the morning, you're brushing your teeth, you're
Yeah.
doing your shaving, everything like that. Meanwhile, what nobody sees is that your brain is racing. I gotta do this, I gotta do that,
Mm.
I gotta do that. How am I going to get it all done? And panic ensues. And what happens? That uses up your mental energy. Wouldn't you
Yes.
agree? And
Yeah.
you get to your desk and you're tired already. You think, okay, all right. So what do is number one, prioritizing, and people talk about that, but I have started to function in categories very successfully. When I'm having that, or when I was having that little panic anymore, and I don't anymore, by the way, simply because I've done it so often that it works, and I don't have that panic anymore, is what I would do is um number, just put everything into little boxes. Okay, I have to phone my father's lawyer. All right, that's in the Andrew box,
Yeah.
not Andrews, Andrew. That's Andrew. Um, I have to send out emails to a couple of speaking opportunities. All right, that's in the speaking box. Do you
Yeah.
see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Another category would be follow up with a client, potential client. Another box.
Yeah.
Instantly, and then once I started writing it down, and I've even niched down this idea even more. But boy, can it ever calm you down and say, all right, now which category do I do first? I don't know. Which is the most certain? Who is waiting for you to respond? Oh, well, that's
Mm,
easy. The potential client is waiting to schedule an interview. Oh, okay, good. So you see what I mean? You niche it down for lack of a better word, and focus it down. And your brain, at least with me, and I would hope that one of your listeners, if one listener takes this and it works for them, we want to hear about it, don't we, Alex?
absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
and I invite you to try this. You're probably already doing a form of this. You have your categories, you have your children, you have Sarah, you have your podcast, right?
Yeah.
And all of them are fraught with a million things to do, are they not?
Yeah. Plenty. Plenty to do.
So you just you focus on what's most important. And again, this sounds simplistic, but too often we get caught up in busyness. And at the end of the day, can we say to ourselves, I got the right things done? No, I didn't get it all done because it never does all get done. But I
Yeah.
got the right things done.
Yeah.
In your case, my kids are looked after. They got to the ball game on time, whatever it is. You know what I mean? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
Yeah. My thoughts on this is something I talk about a lot with clients of just slowing our minds down. Just slow
Mm,
down enough where we can really be present to what we're doing. And what I found in my life in the past that would eat away at me is the unfinished business. The half email I send, the thing I kind of did. Um, if in this case, like if we're having a conversation right now, there would be times where I'd be like, "Oh, hold on, Kitty, I need to get this email done. I'm getting a phone call right now, and like I'm not even here with you now.
that's
I'm
right.
in La La Land, and I separate that connection from us. So what's worked for me is I'm a simplistic guy, paper, post it, da 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 da. And it's just a part of the way that I decide to create my day. And that's me taking ownership. And that's what I love to work with clients about. It's like, and then that's what I get from your story too. And with the work you do is helping somebody just take ownership of their life, get the control back. There's going to be plenty to do. We're never going to get everything done. But like you said, what are the right things? What are the things that are effective that I can handle today and be complete with? Done. It's
Yeah.
over. It's
And
finished.
you made a good point. If I can jump in here,
Yeah,
you
jump
made
on.
an excellent point about losing the connection. So let's come back to your kids because I don't have kids. So I envy people who do, and if I say, God bless you for being able to do that because that's a full-time job right in and of itself, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, no
So
sick
you
days.
mentioned uh, and they're young too. They're young children, so they require more of daddy's mommy and daddy's attention.
Yeah,
And when you mentioned about just let me finish this email. And Bob,
right.
what's your kids now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Juliana, AJ's like, oh, I gotta get to this one meeting. Hold on, Daddy needs a minute or something like
right.
that, and they know it's not an actual minute. It's not a. They're not like, all right, 60 seconds. Dad's gonna be here. Like that minute is can be 10 minutes sometimes. Oh,
And
now I'm not keeping my word.
And what exactly? So what does that cost you? That it costs you your integrity in your own mind, your integrity in the kid's mind, and basically precious moments. So if we can learn to compartmentalize things that, all right, they have your full attention, or the client has your full attention, and you are
Yeah.
not distracted by physical or mental clutter. When I say physical, because we haven't really touched on that much, but maybe there's, I just
Could be
completely
like a, could be
yeah.
just one of these things like, and then some cushions, and then we got the blanket, and it's like, all right, Kitty, I'm ready to work now. That's not going to be very effective.
Right. It kind of diminishes your credibility with either the existing, well, either the existing or the potential client.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, how can you
So
help me when you're in this, like, you have a cushion in your head, your shirt's inside out, you got stains, and like, I'm not prepared, and oh, what are we talking about again? What's going on? Like, yeah,
I
it's
have
it's what
interviewed a
happens.
potential VA who came to a call like that. I won't go into details, but um I've learned since then that she was going through an upheaval in her life, and yet still trying to keep everything the status quo. And she lost me as a customer at that point, but now I see her and she's going strong. So this is part of the effect that life is going to happen, and the more organized organized slash decluttered on all five pillars you are, the more easily you can bounce back
Yeah,
and pretty much keep things going. Because through the first few months of the year, I had a lot more interviews. I had um, a lot more going on. I was able to keep it under control, but you can only dance that tightrope for so long. So
yeah,
the easier you have it, the more of a system that you have,
yeah,
that can help a lot. Would you agree?
yeah, absolutely. People see me they're like, oh, you kind of wild and wacky. Like, listen, there's systems in place. Like, I have things in mind because I love the acronym of system of save yourself time, energy, and money. And it's
Oh,
like, yeah, anything I can do that won't eat up my time, that won't eat up my mental space and energy, I'm all for it.
oh, that's a writer downer. Do you mind if I if I
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
write that
takeaway
down?
doesn't, yeah, it doesn't belong to me. That's for everyone to have. And speaking of systems, you mentioned your one system. So I'm really curious about that. And I'm sure anyone watching would love to hear a little bit more. So please indulge, share.
All right, thank you. Well, it
Yeah.
goes back to when I first started virtual decluttering. Because I was doing physical before that, like in people's homes, and our mutual, the person through whom we met, she said, you're doing in homes?"
Yeah.
Like, have you tried virtual? And I didn't look back.
Yeah.
And through that, because of the fact that it was through a screen, um, you could only do, what is it? One room at a time, one
Mm.
area of that room at a time, and one thing at a time, because there's only one screen to work on. So, would you like me to go quickly through those? Do we have time?
Yeah, yeah, we got plenty. Yeah, we got time. We're
Awesome,
good.
awesome. One room at a time. What do I mean by that? I mean that uh, choose one room and stick with it. Uh, don't say, okay, well, I'll start in, for example, the office. And then I'll do a little bit here, and then I'll do a little bit in the spare bedroom, and then I'll come back. Well, there are a couple of reasons for not doing that. Number one, from a practical viewpoint, by the time you come back to the office, you've forgotten where you were. So there's 15 minutes to get your head back in sync, get back in character, as it were. And oh yeah, okay, here I am. All right.
Yeah.
Another good reason to stick with just the one room is that you build momentum. And again, this is not musings from the sky here,
Mhm.
nothing new, but you do build momentum and you build self-esteem out of the overwhelm, because many times the reason people don't declutter or they allow it to build up again is because they've had bad experiences. They've decluttered and it's all come back because they didn't have a what is that system, uh, or they've had somebody come in and they couldn't find anything, so they said, to hell with decluttering. Yeah, I'll just leave it a mess.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it becomes overwhelm and lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. But if you stick with one thing and you see your slow but steady progress, which is what I highly recommend, is slow and steady, then you start to, it's the back to the train analogy, which I just love, the little engine that could. Do you read that to your
Yeah,
kids?
yeah,
Do they
yeah.
still
We
have
read
that
that.
book?
I don't
Right.
know if we have them anymore, but we definitely have read them. Yep.
Yeah. I think I can. I think I can. Oh, ting, 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 ting. Um, so that's one room at a time, one area of that room at a time. Oh, about the one room, please don't start in the basement that has 30 years worth of Christmas decorations. You're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. Okay, so just don't do it. One area of that room at a time. I think I'll tackle that pile over there. Imagine that you've moved, you've got a pile, you've got various piles. Nah, I'll do that. Well, geez, my desk, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Pick one area and stick with it under the same principle of my desk is full like this of paper. Um, just stick with it and get the momentum going. Oh, it's going to take too long. I get bored easily. I can't do it that way. Get rid of the limiting beliefs. If you want this badly enough, you will just stick with that one area, build some momentum, and maybe your partner will come in and go, wow, what did you do? Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. All right, that's the one area at a time, one thing at a time. All right, ready?
Ready.
Okay. Is it tedious? Yes. Is it time consuming? Absolutely. Is it the number one way that you will stay decluttered for life? Yes, I say so, and all of my clients say so. And I'll just explain it a little bit. Explain why a
Okay.
little bit. Is when you have, say, for example, that desk, and that was my very first client who I also met through our mutual friend.
Yeah.
And she had a very large L-shaped desk that was about 8 inches of paper all over the desk. And she said, Kitti, you're out of your mind. There is no freaking way. I'm going through this one at a time. And she almost spit on me. She calm down. All right, she says.
Mm.
Once she got started, she could. I had to say, time, okay, like it's time.
Yeah.
What happened was, it took about 10 minutes for that little train to get moving, but she started to see. I'm going to keep using that analogy. I love that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Rock with it. Yeah.
Um, another bank statement, and she was putting things in piles or tossing them.
Yeah.
Um, And she's like, what am I doing with all these bank statements? I don't need them. I can get them online. My accountant doesn't need them. Why do I even have them? I'm going to go digital. Bam. There's some
Wow.
clutter that will never come back again. Another thing that we found, a whole bunch of trade magazines. And they were specific to her, what she did.
Right.
But she reported that the next time that she was in a certain shop, it was a grocery store, up in high-end grocery store, so maybe it's a Whole Foods or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, And she went to reach for this magazine just out of habit. It's like her hand went beely, beely, beely. Must have magazine. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, well, wait a minute now. I just threw out about a stack, maybe 6 or 8 at $8 a pop. Why do I want to blow another 50 bucks? Why do I want to keep doing that? Aha. One less thing to declutter. Her brain, by doing it slowly and systematically, she was retraining her own brain. I had nothing to do with that. She was retraining her own brain to eliminate future clutter
Wow.
and change your shopping habits. And this can extend over everything, whether you're decluttering your relationships, and that's a topic for a whole different interview. But no matter what you do, if you just do it, niche it down and take your time, then it will last for life.
Wow.
There you are, sermon over.
Yeah, it's all right. I love it. This is the Church of Abundance, so we keep it going. It's
Glory, hallelujah.
I love it. I mean, because what someone might think is like, oh, you're just right. Their mind would be like, well, it's just space, it's just things. Well, you can see just from that story how these things eat at someone's brain, how they eat at the wallet, very important. And then what happens when we start to recreate ourselves, right? She becomes a person that I'm a clutterer, I'm a hoarder, not in that extreme case, but right? I just can't get rid of these things. To oh, I don't have anything in my world that isn't useful to me, or I'm part of the digital age. I save money. I'm great with this. Like it's a whole new identity, and that self-esteem is built through tangible things, through a real process of this is not necessary anymore. I don't have to. I can let this stuff go.
Mhm.
What does that do for people, right?
It's intangible what it does, but it's at this. If something can be intangible and yet real at the same time, I believe that this is.
Yeah, 100%. So for anyone out there who's a business owner, entrepreneur,
Mm,
just give it a thought. Consider it. Consider what are the possibilities of your space, your workstation, your house, whatever got going on in your world. What if there's just like a little, like 1% less, one thing less? I heard this great story from a coach who was working with somebody who said that it's kind of similar to what your client was experiencing, like papers everywhere, this and that. And he's like, all right, I challenge you to clean up for 1 minute every day, just 1 minute of cleaning.
mm,
And obviously, for most people, right, you get the momentum going, the train, chugga chugga starts moving. You go way past 1 minute. It's like, all right, it's gonna be 2 minutes
yeah,
of cleaning, and then all of a sudden, now within time, there's not really a mess, or you build up the habit of, I could leave this here, or do I feel like cleaning this up now? Do I feel like cleaning up later? I'm gonna do it now. It's over.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Retraining the brain and most importantly, not only retraining the brain, but reaping the benefits of walking into, say, for example, that place that you just spent maybe clearing your desk off at the end of the day, that 5 minutes, which is my number one tip. And do you want to walk into a messy desk in the morning?
Absolutely not. There's a reason why we love hotels, right? The bed's made.
Yeah.
Oh,
We all love hotels for that reason.
yeah.
Someone else cleans it. It's the fairy came in and waved the magic wand. Well, you have the power to wave your own magic wand.
Mm,
And the more you wave it in the beginning, the less you'll have to wave it down the road.
mm. Would you say that would be, if you had to give like one tip for like successful decluttering, would that be it, or is there something else you have in mind that would be useful for someone out there?
Uh,
That just that 5 minute practice of like end of the day. quick tidy up, and you're ready for the next day. So I love how Jim Rohn said it one day, like, don't start your don't start your day until you finish it.
Yeah. I do believe if you, I have a lot of no, I hesitated there because I was thinking, is that my number one tip? And I've got a lot of number one tips. That's the problem. So it's a matter of niching it down to one.
And
Um,
that
but
power of one.
for purposes of this discussion, because we haven't been focusing on the overwhelm and esteem issues that much, I would really say that for purposes of our listeners today, yeah, take that 5 minutes, and there is always something that's going to bother you more than others. It could be a kitchen sink, which is
Mm,
good feng shui, by the way, to have your kitchen sink clear. It could be your kitchen counter. It is something superstitious. If you're an entrepreneur, it should be your desk. It might not be, and
mhm.
that's okay. Who are we to judge, right?
Yeah.
But my number one tip as far as your brain is okay, I'll explain it this way. Your brain is busy enough as it is. You're at peak performance. That little iPhone, the little battery at the top of your brain there,
Yeah.
it's at 95%. All right. And if you walk into your desk and it's got even a couple of stacks of things that just aren't work. They're just like ghosts of yesterday. There's another one. All right, we're just for
The
Halloween.
ghost of
Why not,
yesterday.
right? Then your battery goes down to 88%. Okay. I wonder if I should look at any of this stuff. No, I don't even need it. I don't know what 85%.
Mm,
Okay, so you put it away. 83%. Do you see where I'm going here?
yeah.
All right. Whereas if you come into your office rocking and rolling at 95% and you sit down and you fire up the beast and fire up the monitor and you're good to go, still with your 95%. So I would say, yeah, the one tip for y'all for today is take that 5 minutes, and it won't take more than 5 minutes to just put everything back where it's supposed to be and fill your water glass.
Mm.
It's super. I know this has nothing to do with decluttering, but we do have to stay hydrated, don't we? We have to look
Absolutely.
after the health of people too. So I make sure that I have a full water bottle in the morning. I don't, yeah, I may or may not drink it. I probably will. But my point is that everything you mentioned, the hotel.
Yeah.
Make your office like the hotel, your
Oh,
workspace, that somebody has come in and tidied and dusted with their feather duster and they've made everything beautiful. Isn't it nice to walk into a workplace like that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I love the example, and even the water, right? It declutters the body. We're getting rid of toxins and the unnecessary waste that we're going to eliminate anyway. So let's do something that's nourishing our bodies. And
Mhm.
one thing I want to touch on real quick is you hinted at it, and you were talking about our esteem, and I'm curious about just that other side of it, right? This is the train of thought show. So our thoughts, how decluttering, how an effective space that we hold, how that helps us potentially remove judgment of it, of I'm such a messy person, right? And now
Um,
all these things that start becoming created from it, like I'm
yeah.
messy, I'm dirty, this is why I'm not successful, whatever that might be. All these these thoughts that are transmitted, and then the other side of it. What if it's clean? What if it's, it doesn't have to be perfect, and we're not saying that, but just it's functional for you. It's like, all right, I know where things are, things I don't need are not in my space. Everything that's available to me is what I need to be
Right.
successful. So, can you touch on that for a minute?
Oh, how long you got?
I got as long as you need. Like, listen, I'm here. We are
I
here.
um that is that's that it's a lot because I've been working with someone who specializes in energy shifting and all of the beliefs, the stories in your
Yeah.
brain that come with that. And I've had some very powerful realizations of why I do some, we all do it,
Yeah.
some self-sabotaging things like you're always late for something.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Did you need to look at your iPhone one more time before on your way to the meeting and then make yourself late, kind of thing? So that goes, this is why I'm hesitating because it goes into a whole different area. But if we just keep it to decluttering,
Yep.
and feeling like you're messy all the time, one thing you can do is, and all of the other things that they hit hard. This is real stuff for people. I'm sure
Yeah.
you work with people that can be very, very hard on themselves. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And you're your worst, many times we are our own worst enemy. And if we can stop that before it starts, number one, by taking the bull by the horns and making it tidy, whether you have someone help you, whether you do it yourself, whether you get somebody in, and get it to a baseline of sorts. And as you just said, it doesn't have to be perfect,
Yeah.
just livable for what you need. Then you can start to say to yourself, with certainty, I keep a tidy place with whatever I need. Just a simple affirmation like that.
Yeah.
And if those little goblins,
Yeah.
it's still Halloween, honey. I can use that for the next what, 6 days, 5 days. Um, it's Canada. I can go 6. Uh, if those goblins come into your brain and say, you're this, you're that, you're the other thing, and you have something to battle back with. It's the Star Wars, the good versus evil.
Yeah.
And you can say, no, I look around. Yeah, I do keep a tidy place. So go away. You can literally say, good. I have said to myself, knock it off, Kitty. You're
Yeah.
doing just great, kind of thing. And no matter how advanced you are emotionally, you're still going to have to battle those beliefs sometimes. But if you have something concrete that you can see, that you can smell, that you can experience, that validates the fact that you are that you're successful, then that will build on itself. But am I barking up the right tree here as far as
Yeah.
your question goes?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the right tree. Yeah, definitely up the right tree. It's an example I give all the time to people about our mental courtroom, right? Our prosecution being those limiting beliefs, those goblins, those ghouls, and then our opportunity is to build up our defense. And those are the real tangible experiences, the success journals, the things that we know that are true. And my question every time to my prosecution is like, you got to prove it. Because I have file cabinets of evidence of people I help, things I do, who I am, what I create. You got to prove it to me. And they'll be like uninvited guests. They'll just, kind of trail off. But I know they'll be
Yeah,
back. I know they're coming back. So I'll be ready, ready and armed.
I man, you've got some good material. I tell you what.
That's just how my mind works. I'm like, I just see it, and we have our judge, and sometimes the judge can be harsh, can punish, but also judges are lenient. Judges can pardon.
Yeah.
So it's all about what we are choosing to subscribe to. If I want to subscribe to this thought of me being terrible and messy and cluttered and never ready, always late, right? If I want to believe in that story, then be the best at that story. But if you want something different, then be willing to face those things and also give yourself some grace. Like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, I've made a mess in the past, but I'm willing to now clean up a little bit, clean up this mess. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
And even if you backslide, can I
Yeah.
touch briefly on
Yeah,
backsliding?
yeah, yeah. Touch, yeah.
Because,
Because
because this is a
people think it's gonna be
reason,
perfect. Yeah, we're gonna have our moments. We're gonna have those things that knock us
as I
back.
mentioned before, life can happen. You can have whatever, the train. He's going along nicely and then kaboom, it goes off on a totally different track. And you're like, oh, why did I even bother?
Yeah. Oh
Right?
gosh. Yeah.
But guaranteed that once you've done it the first time, and you're going to feel badly about yourself. In fact, in my Facebook Lives, I have a week-long series. I did it a few months ago on what to do, how to bounce back from a backslide.
Slide.
Say that 4 times. Um, and and it's possible. You just have to keep in mind, I did it before. Damn it, I'm going to do it again. I
Yeah.
will be able to get through this and get back to where I am. And again, don't beat yourself up. Just remember, hey, I did it before. I can do it again, but all of it's up here. And that is why I say the physical clutter and mental clutter are very closely intertwined. And people, when I ask them which troubles you more, the physical or the mental, 10 out of 10 will say the mental.
Yeah.
Kitty, we know how to pick stuff off the floor, but it's the crap in our brain that's driving me nuts, kind of thing.
Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Love it. Man, this has been such a fun conversation. I know you have some gifts, something for our audience to
Dude,
walk away with, so I'd love for you to share that with them.
awesome. All right. We have you mentioned the judge and jury. I present to you as evidence.
Exhibit A.
I gotta say, you're in the top 3 of fun interviews that I've had over 3 years. Okay, so please take that to the bank.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
so we have here your 7 easy steps to conquer your physical and mental clutter. And it really is seven easy steps meant to be followed in order, and it comes with short little 3-minute videos from yours truly, so you don't, and I believe I'm wearing a pink shirt in them, by the way. Uh, don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, Alex and I have a joke about the pink shirt. Um, um, so you never feel alone in the decluttering process, because decluttering can be a mighty lonely journey depending on on with whom you do it. And I'm still doing my own decluttering. Um, yeah, so that's what it is. 7
Awesome.
easy. Mhm.
Awesome. So, what's the best way that we can get access to that and also access to you and connect with you if anyone wants to uh, be a part of your world?
Ooh, I would love that. Okay, I know that you're going to
Yeah,
post,
and yeah, that'll be in the show notes, like the link for that. I
yeah,
just want to like at least have them audio. Some people don't read. Not you,
eh,
not my audience. You guys, we're all students. You're studious,
okay.
but
They listen and then they read.
yeah,
Um, okay, so you've got the link for that, and
yeah.
I I'm just about to, in about 10 minutes, do my 661st Facebook Live, Monday to Friday. Thank you very much. Monday to, inspired by our mutual friend, by the way.
Yeah.
Um, um, Monday to Friday, noon Eastern. Every week is a different topic. Say, for example, this week is getting rid of the ghosts of people past. Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
Halloween. When you move into a home and you don't feel right in it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So that's this week. Anyway, every week is a different topic. All of those can also be found on YouTube, and also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. And that's what's coming to mind for now.
All right. So yeah, connect with Kitti Andrews online, and for that 7 easy steps to conquer your physical and mental clutter, go to declutterthebrain.com declutterthebrain.com. See if I declutterthebrain.com/declutter, and you'll get access to that free guide, and that's her gift to you. So
Yeah,
I
I have
encourage you
another
to read
gift.
it, apply it. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, share.
I have another gift that always sometimes I wish I just had one thing, but when they are about to click the download button for this, there's
Yeah.
also a button where they can book a quick and free call.
Oh,
And
excellent.
I'll actually listen to hear what their clutter is costing them in
Mm.
their health, their wealth, their relationships, and gift them with a jumpstart plan for right now results. In other words, they will get results right on the call to just kind of get the momentum happening.
Beautiful. Love it. Giving people experiences, let them feel what it's like to have
Yes.
things decluttered a bit more than when it was originally. So, Kitti, I want to thank you for this awesome conversation. Just love your energy, love it, the good you're doing for the world. Where you take in one thing, but it's so expansive. There's so much to it. There's so many layers, and it serves people. So I want to thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex, and thank you to all who are listening or watching.
Yeah, you're welcome. So declutterthebrain.com/declutter. That's how you get your 7 easy steps to conquer your physical and mental clutter. So with every episode, we are coming to a close. Whoop, whoop. One of these days, I'm gonna get like the actual train noises, like the full sound effects. This show's gonna be off the chain by next year, but it's gonna be fun. And I just thank you all for being along for this ride. Enjoy your Thanksgiving if you're in the States for this broadcasting at the time, and enjoy your holiday season. This is the perfect time now. Stuff's gonna be coming in, toys, all this stuff. Let's take those steps. Take Kitti up on our offer of
Mhm.
decluttering. Take her up on an opportunity to experience what she does, so she can help you, get things a little bit in order, so that you can share your gifts to the world and do what you do best, and not worry about what's this mean about me and why is this here, and let's get rid of all that. Let's get to work. Let's get in action. Let's get on the field and play. So all that said and done, sure you subscribe to the Wake Up with Giants TV network. I'm your host, your conductor. Chugga chugga. Love you, love you. Till next time, take care. God